Alright, so for the first part, you're going to need to cut all your pieces of pipe segment. And I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut most everything already. So all you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take a tape measure. And this is going to be a 4-inch segment for the gas chamber. Take your Sharpie and write it about 4 inches. Just make a little mark. So now we're going to use what's called a tube cutter. How you use this is you open up the jaws a little bit, enough to get your pipe in there, and then just kind of hold it steady and line up the rotating cutting blade with the scribe line. So now to use this, you put a little bit of pressure on it and spin the pipe around, and it starts to cut it. Once you feel that it's kind of broken free, you put a little bit more pressure on it and then spin it again. And you just keep doing this until it cuts all the way through the pipe, and it usually doesn't take too much. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a screw gun, a 7/16 drill, and the flat end for the air chamber, and we're going to put a hole in the air chamber so that we can fit our air fitting into the air chamber. So what you're going to do is pretty straightforward. You just come onto your bench or wherever you're doing this, and then so when you're doing this, if you're going my route, you want to be real sure to not cross thread. And when I say cross thread, I mean you want to make sure the tap goes through straight. Not always easy to do. So if you just put some pressure right over the top of it and kind of just rotate around that pressure, a lot of times you can get it to go through nice. So figure out about how far back you want it. I'm just going to kind of pick a spot and go. It doesn't really matter. So what this is for is this is for the pressure gauge. And this is also an optional piece. You don't have to add in, but I want to. It sounds like my drill is dying. Okay. Get that debris out of there. Alright. Now it's time to tap this hole. Lots of fun. Hold it between my feet. And once again, pressure straight down and try not to tilt the tap as you're tapping. Otherwise you'll wind up with a messed up hole and it won't thread properly. Alright, so before you can start gluing everything together, you're just going to need to take a piece of Scotch-Brite and you're just going to kind of need to Scotch-Brite the ends of the pipes, kind of get all the burrs off of there. A burr is a sharp edge. Of course it's plastic, so it's not very sharp. You're just getting any inconsistencies out so you can get a nice good seal on it. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting together our barrel. And we're going to start at the 3/4 inch to slip end. And we're going to take one of our 3-inch pieces and we're going to glue it to the threaded slip. Go ahead and prime your prime your slip and prime the end of the tube that you want to be cementing in place. Allow it to dry for a second. Then you're going to take some of your PVC cement, doesn't take a whole lot, and just kind of dab it around on the inside there. And then you're just going to slide them together. Alright, so here I've got the gas chamber pretty much all glued together. So here's the plug that we drilled and tapped earlier. On one end you're going to have a 1 inch to 3/4 inch threaded piece. This part is a slip. And then you have an elbow, an elbow, an elbow, an elbow. 4 inch, 4 inch, and each of these are 1 foot. And then on the end here we have a slip to inch thread. So what that means is one side is able to just be slid on, hence slip, and the other side has threads in it. So you're just going to go ahead and you're going to thread this plug down into your pipe. I've got some thread seal tape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the threads of this brass air fitting with some thread seal tape, and that'll kind of help keep all my air in the chamber. Alright, so this is the finished product. I went ahead and I took a blade and I just kind of scraped out the end of this tube because I noticed that it had a little bit of a burr on the inside edge. So what I have is I have a 10-inch piece, a 10-inch piece, a 3-inch piece, a 3-inch piece, and a 3-inch piece. Here I have a T slip on each one, and then on this one I have a closed-end cap. Here I have a 1/2 inch pipe to 3/4 inch threaded, and then I have my 3/4 inch ball valve, and then I have a 3/4 inch to 1 inch slip adapter, and I kind of cocked it off to the side because I made the mistake of putting this a little close. So when you're doing this, you might want to put your pressure gauge back in here somewhere, a little farther back than I did. Then I have a 12-inch piece, a 12-inch piece, and a 12-inch piece. And then these curved parts are 4 inches each. On the end, I've got my 1 inch to threaded end, and then I have my plug with my brass fitting in the end. And all together, we have our marshmallow gun. And that's it.